And I know I already made recordings about, title things like this not a fair fight, in situations like that. That's because that's exactly, the nature of all of this persecution throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? It's by no means a fair fight. The entire country, though, the government, military, injustices, artists, even the enemies of artists, it's not really their enemies, all work together for this one purpose. You know what I'm saying? Trying to see me defeated since 1994, the year of my birth. You know what I'm saying? And so throughout the course of these years, they have all did, whatever it took in their own way. You know what I'm saying? Like a vast amount of people. They did everything they could in their own way to bring about that result. You know what I'm saying? So the situation is never a fair situation. You know what I'm saying? You got the government allowing these artists to stake and stalk in my life, 365 every year arbitrarily. You know what I'm saying? They're lying to open up that door for those artists to nest and sit in my life and then study me and then look for the perfect times they feel, is the times to attack me. You feel me? They look for times when, I'm at my low points. They look for times when another artist who supposedly, they're friends or their enemies, also doing the same thing to my life with structure help, trying to, get me into vulnerability, bad position where people can't see the truth. Because they built entire falsehood kingdoms of lies, and then, they got rich from it after things they invested in falsehoods. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the situation, and so all these people, I already talked about this concept of this one more time, type of ordeal that they got. That's what I named it. And it's really a concept of, the structures never do anything until after the situation, has been complete. The people never do anything until after the situation has been complete. The justices never do anything until after the situation has been complete. The military never do anything, or recognize anything until after the situation has been complete. The structures never ever recognize anything until after the situation has been complete. They turn my life into a giant, TV show. In spite of, a vast testimony, disclosing all the necessary appropriate facts to prevent such a thing from happening before, in advance. And so, when you do everything that you possibly can, everything that society say you're supposed to do, to protect your future, protect your legacy, protect your ministry, protect your art, and protect your livelihood, and you do everything that the law and everybody else, say do, legally and civilly. And then, none of it, you see the situation still blatantly and flagrantly, deteriorating progressively and gradually in spite of your best efforts and everything else. I could drop classes and things, it don't matter. The people don't, facts prove truth don't matter. The people don't care about what's right or nothing. Satanic cults got premeditated agenda that they've been had on my life since my birth. You know what I'm saying? And so they constantly, make chess moves in order to try to work themselves into a position where they can see me, defeated or down or humiliated or things. You know what I'm saying? Because the structures have a fetish for that kind of thing against my life. You know what I'm saying? And that's also a cover for, the accessory to, the childhood molestation that they also, are accessories of, for having knowledge of what, some influential figures, were doing to my life at that age, remotely, albeit, but still the same situation. And so that's the situation I'm in. And so they're joining together, against me, on that level. And what it is, you got these people, they talk out of turn. For years, they never ever, for years, they never ever had any excuse to be able to come for my life. But all these years, they sit there in all this jealousy, just sitting there festering. You feel me? They sitting there watching somebody be great. They see all of that and their jealousy just fester it up. You feel me? And so, they never ever had a reason to be publicly come at me. So, after years and years and years, they finally think of some kind of crazy reason to be able to do so. You feel me? And then the reason itself is even false. As, and that tells you how, about the devil, because of all of that, any false argument that could have been raised against me already been disbanded and disproved. You know what I'm saying? The people love to see their heroes, you know what I'm saying, defeated. You know what I'm saying? They build them up, then they knock them down. You feel me? That's what it is. You know what I mean? I mean, you one person and you got like millions of people that want to see you fail. You know, and so anybody that could help them achieve or accomplish that, you know, that entertainment, they you know, they hype them up and put them up. You know what I'm saying? And that's the situation. So I mean, it's never, you know, it's not a fair fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna, you know, just squander out all my talent. You know what I'm saying? To keep displaying it for the world to see and everything, just to have the same results. And so now what you're seeing is gradually, you know what I'm saying? For this same agenda, you see gradually, everybody know this was a crime. You know, my life being turned into like a reality TV thing, whatever, you know, over the course of a long period of time, without my knowledge, you know what I'm saying, or my consent or participation. You know, and you know, so over time my life has been turned into this, and you know, I showed the world the truth. You know what I'm saying, about the situation, you know, consistently, all year, every year. And you know, and it's the funniest thing, you know, I mean, society pretend to be Christian, the whole Christian values, which is false, as we know from from the America, the Babylon, America, you know, whole, you know, prophetic thing. So we know that that's not true, but they would have people believe, you know, that they were, you know, of God, you know what I'm saying, after they've, again, the one more time scenario. And that's the thing they keep returning to. You know, they keep allowing these things to happen, you know what I'm saying, with their knowledge, and then they keep falsely claiming to be of or under God. And so, I mean, that's a situation of it. It's not a situation where it's like an artist versus another artist. No, it's a government, you know what I'm saying, guilty of you know, war crimes against an innocent child. And, you know, yes, you know, and it's a government guilty of war crimes against an innocent child. And, I mean, artists that also benefited from the situation, or the other way around. You know what I mean? But either way, you know what I mean, it's by no means ever been a fair situation or a fair fight. You know, and so I see every year, all years, you know, things happening to my life. Even way back, man, I remember these, you know, situations happening to my life, things for which I had no defense against. You know, I'm seeing, you know, things like every aspect of my life being like just, you know, eaten up. You know what I'm saying? Like destroyed, you know, strategically and thoroughly, you know, sabotaged in advance. I seen, you know, all these things happening, and I remain, you know, powerless to be able to do anything about it, because all these influences were way above my, you know, my social or my financial bracket and all of that. You know what I'm saying? The whole time, but they literally reached down, leaned down. And this was something I've seen. So you see a lot of people created contentions in the past just to be able to have the reason to come for me. Just like, for instance, I'm going to give you like an example. Hold on. Yeah, it's like a situation that like, in a, okay, it's like, say if somebody buys somebody, like, say if there's a new tool that comes out, you know, for fruits and vegetables. It's a way to, I don't know, skin apples faster. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, somebody using that, you know what I'm saying, to increase their, you know, their revenue or whatever, like whatever industry they do. That's like them using that, you know, to get rich off of, you know, and you know, but after they've already been using it, like say it comes out and it's been out probably like, who knows, about 5-6 years, and but it's not formally put out. You feel me? So it's like a situation where, like, okay, they got this new tool out here, and it's in a market for that particular industry, and it's just like a situation where somebody's using that, you know what I'm saying, to you know, increase their, you know, their profit in what they do. You feel me? In their own, you know, whatever bracket they in, like, you know what I'm saying, to increase their profit. And so they using it for like 5 or 6 years, you know what I'm saying, under the radar. Then on the moment, you know what I'm saying, then the moment somebody realized that, okay, hey, this person, they're getting their fruits and vegetables and all of their produce and crops and stuff out faster than, everybody else. This years later, they realize, like, why is their numbers so good? Why are they doing so well? And, the moment somebody realizes, like, one person asks that question, and then the public see it, then all of a sudden there'll be an article come out saying that, introducing, the brand new fruits, vegetables, crops, Skinner pillar tool thingy, whatever. It's kind of like that situation. Like, this whole time, I was getting attacked with carnal weapons and things by these same individuals before they publicly or had like any quote unquote reason to justify. Like, way back in 2014, you got people that from these places I never had been, was like in my personal yard, unprovoked, like with just wherever I go, attacking me with nothing but violence, without cause. And then it's like, ever so discreetly, society implied that the things that I was going through back then, and I was like a greenhorn, to life in everything. Like, I ain't understand it. But the things that were going through back then, they saying that these people, that all of a sudden, pull out, false reason or beefs or whatever to be able to have problems with me. They was also the ones that was pulling the triggers and stuff back then too, and you gotta understand, like, I didn't know I had any fame before 2013 and 14. To me, that's where my fame started as an author, because I didn't know about, from 94 to 2002, and then between that gap, weird, and then the rest. So I mean, the bottom line is, it's an unreal, it's an impossible situation to fight. It ain't no reason. I mean, it ain't no way possible. I just say, man, the people don't bump my stuff if you persecute me. You feel me? Like, that's how I'm feeling. I'm like, I'm not even I mean, what can you do, man? I'm just one of those people that everybody just, they got that pick on, man. They got to pick on. You feel me? They got to pick on. They spend their lives trying to find a way to make my life hard. That's the situation, man. It's people that get joy from another person downfall. You feel me? They get joy in seeing another person down. And I mean, when it's on such a large scale, what it is. So the situation, and I spoke many times already in recordings, man, in recordings and everything, that it's not a situation that's I don't, like I said, I never ever try to ever personalize any of these quote unquote fake content and things, because I mean, that's what it is. Like, they reach all the way, what I'm saying, because just like for you saying grass is green, you got somebody with pictures of purple grass all hanging around their house like a shrine. You feel me? Pictures of purple grass. You know what I'm saying? Just because you you step on the world stage or something, and the grass green, then that's they come for you because grass green. You feel me? But the grass that they have, in their house, and then they took the liberty of putting artificial grass all around their yard and their house, around their house. They got everything that was green, they got it purple. You feel me? Instead. And so I mean, so these people come for you, try to kill you and everything because of that fact, the situation. And so that's the situation. So you realize it's been a pattern, man. It's been like, for the attack that's been on my life, the kind of artists and people that do it is the kind of people that do it and then kill themselves. You feel me? That's the kind of people that, and the structures are of the same resolve. It's like they do irreversible things to a person's life in order to have, their birthright, their inheritance, and, things of that nature. And then they're not above, Xing themselves out, like destroying themselves or canceling themselves after they do it. That's how the situation has been the last 23 years. You know what I'm saying? You got people that sacrificing their lives to ruin another person's life, like strategically through the years. It's a pattern, like, it's weird. And I mean, and that ain't even no religious anything. That's just weird jealousy. You know what I'm saying? Extreme jealousy. So it's super jealousy. And it's the same situation these days. It's an impossible battle, And then you got people that's telling me, to do this and that. Like, bro, if you look at my old stuff, I've been body, I've been, spread light, truth, clarified everything possible. Already hundreds of times, thousands of times already. There's the people don't want the truth. They want entertainment. They don't want facts. They don't care about what's real, what's right. They don't care about none of those qualities or anything like that. They got their mind made up of who they gonna worship and serve in advance. And they chose these false prophets and these beasts and these people like that. They're trying to, slick replace Eli, and, things like that. So, it's an impossible situation. You can't win. You can't win the entire, what? So what? You got, okay, if you creating art, and if it was a competition, and you got most people, they more readily identify with the things that other people like. They like the idea of being godly, but they not really godly. That's how the structures are. They like the idea and how it makes them look to other people about being godly, but they don't have no, it ain't no godly moral compass in them. Because for instance, this wouldn't be happening to me if it was under any circumstances. But this was all premeditated and pre-planned. Just like, ever since the structures had, any kind of role or association, or, on those high levels with the childhood, like the molestation, of my life at that age, the capital knew about what the artist was doing. Some artists was doing it, then they did not disrupt them or intervene with it. And so, with them knowing that, you feel me, ever since they had an agenda to destroy my life and to kill, steal, or destroy and exile me. Ever since that time, it was somewhere between 2002 and, of course, 2013. When they realized, like around that time, that's when they made that choice and that decision. You feel me? And that's why this stuff keep happening to me. They actually made some of these people famous just to be like placeholders, to be gatekeepers. You feel me? They made some people famous on purpose, gave them a lot of money and things just to be a stumbling block, because they share, they got a common interest, and they share the same, interests that those artists share. You feel me? Like, the real talk, they got a common interest. Their interest is that I have no influence. You know what I'm saying? And the other side had the same interest. You know what I'm saying? But for different reasons. But all the reasons are false and fraudulent. And so that situation, it ain't no fact, because I went through hell and high water to bring the truth to the people. Facts proven, all of that, all year, every year, none of it matters. The situation continued to snowball anyway, to the point where, they got my life, I'm being extorted with living. I'm being literally extorted with living, in order, to force me to worship the idols of these people who they themselves worship. And that inadvertently, quote unquote, would complete the scam that they was premeditating since 1994. You feel me? So none of it matters. I speak the truth. I speak the truth. I do everything all year, every year. None of it matters. This has been on 10 to 15 separate occasions in a row. The same exact thing continue to happen to my livelihoods. And that in itself will result in death. So this murder is slow murder, and the people are well aware of what's going on. As well as the structures. So it's laughable to imply that the country is at least anything to do with God. You feel me? In that situation, it's not that kind of situation, man. It's never been a fair fight or a fair situation. I'm not trying to prove that I'm tough. I never was trying to prove that I'm tough or anything like that. The only thing I've been trying to prove is that, America is not under God. That's my only thing I've been trying to prove, that America is not a Christian country and is not under God. And by the things that happen to my life still, it's proven constantly. So, I would appreciate if they would stop lying on the cross. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would appreciate, if they would stop lying on the cross all year, every year. You know what I'm saying? Feigning, weaknesses and powerlessness. You know what I'm saying? Pretending not to be able to, do anything about the situation. Yeah, man. So, I mean, what do they want me to say that I haven't already said in order to win these battles, quote unquote? These contentions where somebody use my aesthetics and things like that, then pretend it's friendly, then later make it malignant. You know what I'm saying? And then people hype that up like, okay, what have I been talking about for the last 8 years? You see what I'm saying? Some people, they just end their own careers like that, feel me? That's all they doing. Feel me? They just end their own careers like that, it don't make no never mind to Eli. And, I mean, like I say, man, I got better aesthetics and things, but that's why they had, like, let's say, artists from the opposing sides of, people that be coming for me, because they come for me in a more discreet, indirect way, because they got those people like gatekeepers, and the government give them that door into my life where they can sit there and assimilate and lost in my art. So, I mean, it's to keep me controlled and contained into these preset false narratives that was arranged and framed for me, since like this is 1994 when I was born. Like, the things were being set in motion all the way to my kindergarten years, and all the way through to my second, third grade. Like, all this, it was below the radar happening, but all of it was being arranged. And it's to the point where, like, I'll be associated, I'll be associated with slanders. Like slandering things, and it's to yoke or tie me with certain other influences or entities. You feel me? And it's to try to create some type of glue, like to, keep us like yoked. And see, that's the thing. So when I'm creating classics, so I'm dropping good stuff, quality material, and it's totally unrelated. I mean, of course, it ain't nothing like nobody ever said before. It ain't nothing like what they heard. Well, what they'll do is they'll try to split hair. They'll look for words like and, if, but, or. You feel me? Stuff like that. Now, if I say something that never, some fresh, innovative stuff that they never heard before, then they'll attribute it to that guy. You know what I'm saying? Who they also, they attribute it to, the beast. They attribute it to the beast when they sit there and watch me create it, because they're trying to fit me through a cutout, like the little square little cutout shaped things that I don't fit into. You feel me? So they try to force it to be that. So anything that's contradicting that false narrative, they shave it off like butter. You feel me? They don't pay no attention to it about my life. Anything that's contradictory to the framing or whatever, anything that disproves the slander or the scam, they disregard it. They pay no attention to it and still continuously act on my life and driving me into exile day in, day night, without cause. Not even recognizing the situation at hand that I've been going through. And so they sabotage every aspect of my life, on the false pretenses. And then they use satanic coats. So, I mean, that's what it is. The bottom line is, these satanic coats, they had to do all this just to have success, bro. That's not real. That's not special. You feel me? They had to do all this stuff just to have success. They had to do this to Eli, try to steal Eli's identity on the low. And, stuff like that, yeah, man. And that's the thing, like the beast, it was high tech, sophisticated, intellectual, mental torture on the child, full, Cold War strategies on the child, on the child, using all of that on the child and then so, in order to try to force a child to be something else they really tried to rewire the purposes of God, and then they failed. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, this not a fair fight though, man. Y'all can check out my earlier. It's old, man. I'll probably repost it, but I'm talking more about Nazi, about the Nazi of America regimes. You feel me? That was last year I made that recording talking about that. But yeah, that's also a reality, in society. I've seen a lot of that too. So there's so many things I've been through, so many hidden chapters, you know what I'm saying? But that's the situation. So these structures, like, man, that's what I'm saying. And that's another thing I want people to understand. Like, they citizens. They are American citizens. You feel me? Me, because of what's happened to me since 94 to now, I'm not a citizen of America. I'm a slave to America. I'm a slave. I'm a literal slave, like the 1800s, like before that point, kind of slave. But the thing is, they use modern technology. You feel me? Modern, illegal, undocumented technology in order to facilitate that situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. Like since 1994, and actually since 2000, you know, since the early 2000s, you know, 94 to 2000, and from 2000s all the way up to now, I've been, you know, a slave. You know, a slave instead of a citizen. You know, they use remote ways of doing so, and it's not, you know, just openly declared, but that's what's going on. So they don't want to see me, so, you know, they always trying to, you know, oust me out society, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, that's a constant reminder of the full scope of everything. You feel me? I don't wish to associate with my slave owners, but I mean, it ain't a matter of race, it's a matter of power and control. You know what I'm saying? You got people that literally enslave their own, you know what I'm saying, just, you know what I'm saying, to have control over them. That's the situation. And there's other people, I mean, and it's people that could be racist. Well, it's a common interest. They can also benefit. So, I mean, it's been an endless situation like that, an endless cycle. I mean, and so you be like, well, you get attacked, then you need to defend yourself. Why? You feel me? Why? It ain't nobody that want to hear anything that I say. The things I say is about God. You know what I mean? It ain't none of that in the country no more. Feel me? It ain't none of that in the country no more, man. So situation continue to snowball, and I'm actually antagonized for, you know, bringing awareness to it. I have an understanding of it. You know? They split so many hairs and nitpick with every action and inaction I take, but themselves, they don't even, that's what I'm saying. I say it's illegal for them to have, you know, overridden my testimony. You know what I'm saying? And still allowed the same things to happen in spite of contrary proof year round. You know what I'm saying, of whatever argument was being used to justify violating my civil, constitutional, humans amendment, all those rights. You know what I'm saying? The fact that, you know, they allowed these things to still happen was because they had already, you know what I'm saying, did these things to me. Like, in my child, that brings back up to the, you know, structure-funded molestation. You know what I'm saying? Hiding under the guise of indirectly, you know, calling you terrorists as a child, or calling you, referring to you as terrorists or aliens as a child when you're a native. That's in order to antagonize you, get the tide against you, because their guilt of things like molestation and things that they cover up. You feel me? So they, you know, they have to antagonize the victim of what, you know what I'm saying, what they did. You know what I'm saying? They have to antagonize the victim, turn and oversell the victim. That's I think if you ask me, that's a telltale sign, like how I've been like oversold so much. Everybody know my concept of being oversold. I talked about that you know, years, not too long ago. It's a concept of being like oversold, and that's where like people hype you up for stuff that you're not really that qualified for. That, you know, they could, you know, when they themselves actually fit that criteria more than you do. You feel me? But rather, you know, and when that reality comes, then they confess to being satanic cults. So that again takes, you know, God takes America from under God permanently. So it's an endless cycle, you know what I'm saying? And they just keep going back. But that's the situation. So they got to antagonize the people who they molested as a child, you know what I'm saying, before they come forward about the situation, or before they be able to put two and two together to understand the fullness of the situation that happened, and to understand that the structures had knowledge of this thing. So they also, you know, accessories, you know what I'm saying, to it, you know, as well as the artists that were allowed, you know what I'm saying, to remotely spy, and still to this day doing the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's not honorable at all, you know what I'm saying? So that explains, you know, now I know what I didn't know then, that gap of time that I had, you know what I'm saying, that gap between 2002 all the way to 2013, you know, it makes sense now to me, you know what I'm saying, that was the time when a lot of people were like, a lot of people was doing like a lot of the underworking. You feel me? Of things that happen now, which is why I have no rights now, because things that were happening in that time period, that gap of time where people were like permanently attaching themselves to me and trying to route my life in a way where I can be permanently destroyed and sabotaged. You know what I'm saying? So it's been the same situation for the whole 20 plus years. You feel me? Been the whole situation for the whole 20 plus years. And so it's never ever a fair fight. You know what I'm saying? People try to, and it's not the first time that people try to like misrepresent, you know, things to be like a certain way. Like, cause I mean, of course, I'm very talented in literary skills, artistic, you know what I mean? But at this point, it's like, what it matter, man? It's not a situation between artists. You feel me? It's not artists versus artists or nothing like that. This is a government, you know, crime, like a huge situation, larger than life. It involved artists, but I mean, situation not what it's been represented as. You know what I'm saying? It's never been a fair fight, man. If this was like a correct, you know, sports game, they would already have broken too many rules in order for the game, you know, to keep the game going. You know what I'm saying? They would have already broken too many rules already. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe about, you know, around the time when somebody broke, I don't know, you know, poison gas and weapons and stuff, you know, to a person that does nothing, have no enemies or nothing, just super talented. You know what I'm saying? At the game, you know what I'm saying? And what they do, that's like around the time when they start, you know, bringing extra stuff to the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if this was a correct sports game, it's no way possible it still would have been fair. You know what I'm saying? They would already have broke too many rules. And they would have did some extra, too. You know what I'm saying? Some extra stuff. Extra hate. But that's the situation, though. You know what I mean? And so that's the situation of it's never been a fair fight, man. It's never been a fair fight. They want me in position where they can control me, feel me? They want to get me in position where they can hold down or control, you know what I'm saying, my potential, my impact, you know what I'm saying, how great I could be. And considering what I've already disclosed to them already in my testimony, they know that would be death for me. So, I mean, and you know, and the people, like I'm saying, if somebody steal your lighter, they're the last people you need to help you look for it. You feel me? That's the kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? I've disclosed to the whole world things that I saw the structures doing. And then that you know, the structures racketeer, you know, just to they get themselves an excuse or a reason to be able to stalk me anyway, which they was already doing before I brought, you know, public awareness to the situation that was happening to my life already. They was already doing that the whole time. You feel me? And violently, and knew about, you know, the violence that I was being subjected to by these same artists that recently, you know what I'm saying, these New Years made themselves, you know what I'm saying, relevant, or, you know, brought attention to themselves in that way these years. You feel me? Like, but you know what I mean, were also contributed to the same things way back. You know what I'm saying? When I was still a child. You feel me? But now, you know, people coming forward. But yeah, man, not a fair fight. Never been. Plus, you know, not even mention the torture tech. And, you know what I mean? Everything all together has never been a fair fight. But they fight me anyway, like everything was fair. You feel me? They cheat. That's the kind of situation they have. Like, these people are the Satan spawns. You feel me? You know, the beast worshippers are idols of the beast. They want you to worship, you know, those who they idolize. You feel me? So they force your life into the parameters that they made, who themselves, they themselves are slaves of. The mental constructs that they themselves are bounded to, you know what I'm saying? They want you to be guided by those same set of principles. You feel me? That's the kind of situation. So, I mean, it's never a fair fight, but they do things to me cruelly, without mercy, inhumane, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, unprovoked, always unprovoked. They still attack me like that year round, all year. You know what I'm saying? As if the fight was fair. You know, they still try to do things to me. They still try to assault me. You know what I'm saying? They still try to set me up for assaults, and the government helps them. You know what I'm saying? The government has a humiliation kink. You remember, they love seeing like undisclosed footage of me being defeated or something along those lines or under that nature. You feel me? That's the kind of situation. The structures love to see things, you know, like that about my life since 1994 all the way to now. You know what I'm saying? It's like a satanic obsession. And that's been going on for the years and for the longest. You know what I'm saying? They love to see my humiliation, you know, torture, murder, you know, all of that, you know, they constantly try to arrange it with these artists. I've witnessed that too hundreds of times. You know, it's been like a non-stop ordeal or situation. You know what I mean? Life as I know it. But yeah, man, it's never been a fair fight.